What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Tony. Today we got another box from Metal Cloak. This one is I got a couple boxes that are coming in. This is, I think, is probably one of the best mods you can do, so you don't end up like this. Or like this.
Well, that looks like aftermarket, soon to be in future. Yeah.
Or like this. What this is caused by is all this pressure from the drag link, from bouncing around, off trailing. You know, your tires can get in a pinch and you're trying to turn it. You can snap gearbox shaft and it can leave you stranded. It's not a good thing to happen at all. So this mod is kind of different than what I see, what most people or what most companies actually do. Most companies tie it with the track bar brace. This one is completely a little bit separate. It's kind of different the way Metal Cloak designed it, which I'm not really sure why they went this way versus just tying it with everybody, like how everybody else does it. Let's open up this box and see what this is, what I got. So what we have here is the big, this thing's actually really beefy.
That's what she said.
This is the actual bracket. This is the part that's going to go around your sector shaft. This is what's going to be holding on to your frame. This is just your your washer that's going to go in there, and they give you this giant. Let me see here. This giant nut.
That's what she said.
It's pretty cool how they actually milled out their logo. For this, you will need a really off-size socket. Fortunately, I do have one. It is a 42 mil. So if you don't have one, you'll need this regardless on which one you actually go with. But yes, you need a 42 millimeter socket. So it does come with a rib nut toolkit. I'm not the biggest fan of these. I would rather be able to use like my tool that that clamps it basically down really easy. But I don't have one that's big enough.
That's what she said.
That's my joke. Damn it, Dwight.
For how big these things are. I'll be honest, I thought these were going to be a lot smaller. So seeing how big these actual bolts are makes me feel a little bit more better that it's a lot of pressure is going to be on these. So the install itself is going to be pretty simple. We got to take off the factory one and then basically bolt it all together. What I would do is take off the factory nut and basically get this all together, hole mark, do like a little punch, and then we're gonna have to go up to I forget what size, I'll put it right here, to basically fit these in, crush these down, and then the install's done. This is a pretty simple mod, but very necessary, just because you don't want to end up like any of these guys having these issues on the trail, especially when you're running larger tires, and it can cause an issue. And I wouldn't say it's an everyday issue, or I wouldn't say that it's just going to happen, but if you're wheeling pretty hard, the sector shaft brace is definitely needed. I would also say, along with getting the track bar brace, which is coming in, definitely would recommend this just to save you for one less hassle. I'm one that I'm big on trying to bulletproof it as much as I possibly can. Obviously there's always going to be something that's going to be a weak link, but I'd rather not have it be my steering. I'd rather break a tie rod or something like that, but my steering, if that sector shaft brace snaps, you're in a more of a hurdle than a lot of things. So that's my 2 cents. So let's get underneath the Jeep and let's get this installed. So one thing you are going to have to do is you're going to have to remove your track bar bolt. You don't have to do this off the ground. You can leave the vehicle on the ground, all 4 tires, but remove this. Just let it drop, because you just have to get to your this nut right here. So it is a 21 millimeter, or was it a 3/15/16 socket? Just so you know, these nuts are on there at 184 foot-pounds. So yeah, you're gonna need like a breaker bar, at least something to help get it started, especially if it's been on there for a little bit. You know, so you're still torquing this thing down to about 185 foot-pounds. On their actual instructions, it says 184, but you know, if you get to 185, it'd be perfect. So what I would do is on your brace, pre-install the washer on it. It'll make life a little easier. And then you want to make sure this bend is actually facing, you're getting pushed down. What you can do is just pre-tighten it down. You don't have to get down to torque spec yet, but just enough where it's going to hold it up there. And let me get you a better shot. So you're gonna have this bar that kind of goes across the front part that connects both frames, so just a cross member. What you're gonna want to do now is, you know, kind of find this almost dead center or so. Grab yourself like a permanent marker and mark these holes, and then grab your hole punch and punch on each center of it. So like I think I said this before, I'm not the biggest fan of these kind of like nut cert tools. Do they work? Yes, they do. I like just doing the whole one of these little tools. It makes this so much easier because all you have to do is just tighten, push down, tighten a little bit more, push down. This one takes a little bit of work. So what you're gonna do is they give you your bolt, you got your washer, and you're basically gonna slide it like here. And then you are going to take this, spin this on, and then what's going to happen is these grooves right here, this thing with these grooves that are going around here that are placed in there purposely in there for a reason. So when you are bolting this down, this part is going to get slimmer and slimmer and slimmer until it catches the sides of whatever hole you guys made. These, if you oversize that hole, you're kind of SOL because it's not going to have enough, or it's not going to have any metal to grab onto. So you want to take your time and make sure you drill out the right hole. So what you do is, I would grab a open end wrench, probably preferably like kind of like a box wrench, just so you can kind of hold this up while you're laying on your back, and then also get yourself a ratchet. With a socket. That's going to make life a little bit easier. So let's figure out what we need. So it's pretty funny how things just work, because we are working on the sector shaft brace, and like I said, most companies kind of put it in front of or connect it to the track bar mount or the track bar brace, but it's funny. it just showed up. So this is going to be a whole nother video, but I wanted to just show you guys. This is actually what the track bar brace is. Usually there's like a little piece that kind of hangs out here that gets bolted onto this or whatnot, because I think or Steer Smarts, I'm sorry, Steer Smarts and a couple other most companies go with this. This, because everything's just right here. This is a little bit different, so I'm not sure why they didn't do that, or what their reasoning was behind it. But we have the metal cloak track bar brace. So this is going to be a whole nother video. The install itself wasn't bad. The only thing that sucks is getting these rib nuts to seat. I'm not a big fan of the tool that they give, or any company, because most companies give it that kind of tool. So I ended up just putting pressure up and just zipping the grade 8 bolt up in there, just to because it's, and plus I'm not a big fan of Allen keys. You know, Allen keys, I'd rather have a bolt, because you're going to get a little bit more leverage on it. It's easier to take on and off if you need to. Half the time when you use an Allen key and let's just say it sees up, you're just rounding that thing out, so you're drilling it back anyway. So I went with the route where I think they should actually just use a grade 8 bolt. And I think that's, me personally, I think that's a better, would be a better design versus just going with an Allen key bolt. But again, that's just my opinion. I got it to seat. You know, it is what it is. It's all the way up in there, and it's holding on just fine. So like I said, you're going to be torquing everything down. Your track bar is at 54 foot-pounds. Your big nut that you're replacing is 184. I set it to 185 because I always go just a tad tighter, just for, I don't know, I've always just done that just 1 pound over. But yeah, that is the sector shaft brace. Like I said, you don't want to end up like these guys.
Well, that looks like aftermarket, soon to be in future. Yeah.
So just do yourself a favor, save your sector shaft from breaking. It's kind of on the expensive side for what it is, but it's gonna save you like a lot more. So simple install, not too bad, not too hard, except for trying to get the main bolt off in the beginning, or I should say this big old nut. Like I said, you will need a 42-inch or 42 millimeter socket. It is kind of one of those odd sizes that you probably only use once in a while. So go to Harbor Freight, go to wherever. Don't buy anything too stupid expensive, just because you may not really use it that often. So yeah, I greatly appreciate every single one of you guys. Next video is going to be the track bar. So thank you. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.